Welcome to the Yeah We Know podcast, part of the More You Knows podcasting network. In the ring with Jimmy and Rod. Rod, what are you hot about tonight?
Well, Jimmy, I'm not really hot about anything. I want to test my powers, if you will,
Okay.
right? I know that I can spin a yarn. I know that I can make a reference like anybody else, right? I know that I'm quick with a joke from time to time, right? Let's see if I can actually manifest things. Last week I wore my Roman Reigns hoodie, and I said that I wanted to see my tribal chief. And then what did we get, Jimmy? What did we get on Raw this Monday? We get the tribal chief. So, Jimmy, I'm wearing Austin. Can I manifest a Stone Cold Steve Austin appearance? I'm being brazen here, Jim, and testing my powers.
Well, we all wanted it last WrestleMania when The Undertaker took the spot. So what better way to give us what we really want than to do it at this year's WrestleMania when Cody Rhodes seems to be losing the championship against John Cena and The Rock, and all of a sudden that glass shatters, he comes down, he stuns people, Cody Rhodes gets the win, walks out of WrestleMania a champion. Not a bad idea.
That would be great, because I'll tell you this, if we're not going to get a Rock match at WrestleMania, what better way to soften that blow, Jimmy, than with some glass breaking?
See, I go back and forth on this, Rod, because The Rock only has so many years left to put on a really solid WrestleMania main event type match, right? And by so many years, I mean 1 or 2.
Yeah.
We want to see Rock and Roman at some point. I mean, that's got to happen, right? Right? But also, The Rock and Cody is pretty big, too, right now. I do like the fact that John Cena is full heel. Whenever Cody Rhodes mentioned his name, he got booed. That's a good thing. But I'd like to see The Rock maybe, get a match here, and then we can move on with our lives. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Well, see, I totally agree with you. But I also could live in a world where The Rock and Roman never actually fight, right? I could live in that world where The Rock just continues to be the final boss character, and he's just got no real reason to have any beef with Roman, right? I could live there. And I also could live in a world, though, where that fight happens and the Cody-Roman rematch is held off for a while, right? I like to think both of those guys got a few years where they could still get after it. You know what I mean? Heck, Roman could even walk away for a while and come back, and then that
He'd
would
never
be
do
the
that.
rub. Yeah, he sort of does it already now, right? He could just do it he could just times it even like by 2, make it strain our credulity as fans even more by being gone for that long. But I just think if we were waiting on that Cody Roman rubber match, right? That is bam. Like that's the one, you know what I mean? That's the one main event that you always got sitting in your back pocket. So why not try to just cycle through a lot of others and just keep that one there? So I like your thought about that. If The Rock's not going to go this year, he better damn well go next year, because he impressed me last year. You know, I was a little bit skeptical of what he was going to be able to do in the ring, and he impressed me last year. So you don't think there's a chance he gets in a fight this year yet? You don't think there's anything we can write to see him there?
No, I don't, because what is it going to be? It's not going to be another tag team match. They did that last year, and there's no way to do that. And then the one-on-one match is Roman, but let's just go right to it. Your boy Roman's in a 3-way with Punk, who is, by the way, the best in the world.
We'll get to that.
And the architect, the visionary, one of the best in the world as well, Seth Rollins. I think they did that really well. The nice close-up of Seth. The crowd starts cheering. We know someone's coming. You know who it is. And then he also went after Punk at the end. I thought that was huge too. Paul Heyman really going to play something into this, Rod.
Okay, we'll get to Paul Heyman, but first that was a big win for my boy, Jim. I mean, a big win for my boy. It's been some downtrodden times for me here on the show where I still ride for my guy, but knew that him being on his back was a thing that was going to happen. So exciting to see my guy get the victory. Like the fact that bad guy Seth Rollins is sitting right there. I mean, he's sitting right there because the match could have been won numerous times and he did not, you know what I mean? Then the fact that Seth's hubris could get the best of him, that's sitting right there. So we got so many juicy storylines, as Seth always cooks up for us. Loved it. And I loved Punk. I got to tell you, Jimmy, as much as I hated him, I loved him, right? I'm starting to realize that I've got to have the yin and the yang. And Punk, for me, is what Roman is for Chris, right? Our guy Chris can see no good in Roman. And so I, in my ever-present journey to not be like the old man, am going to force myself to be better. And if I supremely hate CM Punk, I have to understand and give him credit as one of the top guys. And if not for CM Punk, I don't get my guy Seth having a huge victory, and then I don't get Roman having a huge return. CM Punk makes all that possible. And he brings in your guy, Paul Heyman. So, Jimmy, you tell me how you think Heyman fits into this, and then I'll tell you what I think.
Well, I think that the fact that as long as Seth Rollins wins, you like CM Punk, but if he loses, you don't like CM Punk. I love that. That's fantastic. That is so on brand for you. Listen, you want Roman to go away? What better way to have him go away than Paul Heyman turn on Roman Reigns and go with CM Punk for that one favor? I think Punk's going to go out of WrestleMania the winner of that match, and I think it's going to be because of something Paul Heyman did. Now, if you really want a fantasy book here, is that bringing the Beast back? I don't think so. Not quite yet. There's still a little bit of stuff going on with him in the legal world, so let's calm down on that just a little bit. But I think Paul Heyman, I think he goes with CM Punk for the next few months after WrestleMania, Rod.
Okay, that's cool. I'd like to see that. He's definitely a Paul Heyman guy. But Jim, what if somehow, and this is of course going to be so on brand for me too. But what if somehow a new Paul Heyman guy was created after this three-way?
Okay.
Right?
A Penta.
Oh, okay. I'd like that. But yeah, I just like, what if it wasn't Lesnar? You know what I mean? What if it was just a new? Oh, nah. I like what Gable's doing right now. I hope we have some time to touch on that on the show. I enjoyed that little segment. But no, I would like it to be a new guy. And what I hear, what I'm reading a little bit in some of the dirt sheets are there's some work behind the scenes with Paul Heyman and Braun Breaker, right? He's trying to make sure to maximize Braun Breaker because Heyman ever loves the business, wants the best for the business, wants to help guys out, right? So what if it was Braun Breaker? Because I'm telling you, I'd like to see Braun drop the belt. Braun could drop the belt and then show up at WrestleMania in a bigger way and something like that.
Well, but would he lose the belt at Mania, or would it be before Mania? And then if it's before Mania, how do you not have Braun Breaker on Mania?
You see, you don't have him on Mania until he shows up at the end of the match, right? And he doesn't even factor into the schmozzery, right? I'm not saying that Breaker gets to factor into a three-way match between those guys, but then at the end of the match, right, a scenario's created where it looks like Heyman's in peril to a couple of different guys, right? Because they figure out an end of the match that doesn't necessarily sell it one way or another, right? Roman ends up looking at Punk. Punk ends up looking at Roman. They both look down at Paul Heyman. Heyman's in trouble. All of a sudden, Braun Breaker comes out from the back, wipes out both of them, walks out with Paul Heyman from WrestleMania.
Okay. I think that could happen. I don't know. I think it could. I think that's a good idea. Speaking of three-ways, Rod, let's talk about another three-way we got going here. We got Rhea, Bianca, and Io in the three-way. Here's the deal. Love all three of them. I think it's fantastic. I want to see Rhea. I want to see Bianca in a one-on-one match. I really do. I think the way that they pushed Io out of the way. Now, I know Io came back and slapped the shit out of both of them. Awesome job there, right? But I just think the way they pushed her out made her seem not as significant. And the furor and the promo work and the screaming at each other. I loved the Bianca and I loved the Rhea segment in there. It's going to be a good match, but I don't know if I like the three-way here.
Here's what I wonder, right? We give Triple H an awful lot of credit for a lot of things around the WWE, and I wonder if this is just Triple H saying, all right, you guys are out here thinking that I'm trying to force Io Sky on you. We're automatically trying to make Io Sky a big deal. I gave her the title belt. Some of you are not happy about that. So I'm going to give you a promo where that's exactly what the promo is, right? It's Rhea, it's Bianca. They're doing the great, and then there's like Io doesn't even matter, and then she comes in at the end and she reminds you, oh no, I do matter because this is a slap to end all slaps, right? So I'm excited for this, Jim, because you could convince me any one of these three women walks out of WrestleMania with a belt, and I would buy it. The one that I'm the least excited about is Io Sky, and sorry to all the Io Sky heads out there, but that's the one I'm least excited about, but I could still buy it. And then one I'm most excited for, Bianca walking out a heel, Jimmy. And I have a theory as to how that might be able to still be possible.
Well, let's go to the Rodham theory of the week. What do we got, bud?
Okay. We're seeing a lot of furs out of Naomi, right? That's been a big thing with Naomi, the furry coats all the time, right? What if all the story needs to be Bianca was a coat, right? It was a coat that Bianca was wearing to look like Naomi, and it was actually her the whole time. But it's not possible because Bianca was in the ring when it went down, right? I thought I had something there, and then as I was saying it, I remembered that Bianca was in the ring.
That's interesting, though. I do like the fur thing, and Naomi did admit to doing it, but also Bianca's like, no, blah, blah, blah. I could see either way. I could see that. Well, I think she's going to go heel. I think so for sure, because Jade's got to be the face. Jade's beating the crap out of everybody. She's Goldberg right now. She's killing Naomi. That match is not going to be long at WrestleMania, I'll tell you right now. That will be a short matchup for sure. So many things to go to, Rod.
Naomi's got some Natalya energy in her, Jim. I like that you called that out, that she's willing to take that loss, right? That's something Natalya would do and just continue to be given good spots because she's willing to go down on her back for the company in a spot like that. And Naomi's striking me as that type. So I like your call there that it's probably going to be a squash because we got to have something not take a lot of time at WrestleMania.
Natalya, of course, having a book come out and going down to TNA in a tournament down there. So good luck with her on that. Let's talk about your boy, Chad Gable. Out of nowhere, the Lucha mask is his. He almost killed somebody on the Hurricane Rana, but then did a couple nice moves at the end. Michael Cole had no idea who it was, even though he did, but he just didn't say his name. Did Michael Cole just forget Chad Gable's name?
And that's unfortunate for Chad Gable if that's what happened, because he's not as important as you and I would like him to be, but he still deserves respect. Here's my question. Okay, that's fine. Michael Cole, we know that he's trying to play along and keep up the kayfabe as much as he can at times. Who was in the mask that got hauled off by the police? That's what I want to know, because it was clearly Chad Gable in the mask out there at the wrestling.
That's so fantastic.
Because that wasn't one of the Creed brothers. Those dudes are too huge, right?
That's why I was thinking it's got to be a Creed brother, right? But no. Was it like God,
is that one dude still around? That guy that was kind of like a wild man, never really had a gimmick up from NXT. Ethan or something or other, wasn't that his name? No, that's Ethan Page is down in NXT.
That's Ethan Page now. But I just think that was great, and Gabe was like, so I think that was pretty cool.
I'm excited for this though. I am, because it's like you and I many times have said on this very show before Chris joined us, and then times where we've yelled at Chris that we just want good things for Chad Gable, and it's just not really possible as Chad Gable. But this move where we know Chad Gable's trying to be a luchador, kind of Blue Blazer style, it's going to work for him a little bit, right? Is he going to be WWE champ? No, not Blue Blazer. Sorry, I apologize.
Not go all the way there.
That's not a good one. That's not a good one. I couldn't pull anybody else that we knew was in character.
How about Mr. America when Hulk Hogan put the
anyway. Yeah, see again. All right.
Actually, maybe Chad Gable doesn't want to wear this. Maybe Chad should take it off.
Jim, maybe he will get credit as the one who breaks the cycle. He breaks the bad karma, right? He's
maybe he will.
We love Chad Gable. Come on, Chad Gable, don't have some sort of scandal break in the next coming months.
Speaking of scandals, I guess we'll just go to Logan Paul. I don't know.
That's not bad. Yeah, I like that.
Fine. I mean, nothing major, right? But, whatever.
I was impressed by this segment, Jim.
Sign me up for Logan Paul, AJ Styles. It's fine with me. I think Logan Paul is embraced the heelness as much as you humanly possibly can, especially when you take an American flag in Canada and then, just run down everybody. And you want to, what was the comic's name again? I know him. I just can never remember his name.
Andy Kaufman.
No, the comic that was there.
Andrew Carlson.
Yeah, anyway.
Andrew Schultz.
And Schultz. Okay, wanting to beat him up, and then AJ comes out. I sign me up. I'm fine with it. AJ would probably take the loss in this one, I would think. But I think it's going to be a really solid match, though. So I'm fine with it. Let's go.
I loved it all day. This is one of those times where that I will be watching wrestling at a time that you're not watching wrestling, and then I will just text you something that you then later have to pick up the context for. And I told you that I was all in on Logan Paul going full Andy Kaufman. I'm a celebrity. Reggies out in the crowd. I mean, just prancing around. I was in on all of it. If Andy Kaufman somehow works David Letterman if not Andy Kaufman, excuse me. If Logan Paul somehow works David Letterman into a gimmick at WrestleMania, calling back to Kaufman, Lawler on Letterman. I'm on Letterman. A lot of stuff I had to say there, but I got it out, I think. That would be incredible. Logan Paul, all things are possible, Jim. That's unfortunately what's true. all things are possible, meaning he's got star power that he can bring certain things to the WWE. He's got charisma, whether we like it or not, and he's a hell of a wrestler. I mean, it's just one of those things that, like, whether you like it or not, all things are possible with Logan Paul, and it's just like, how much is he willing to be around, and how much does Triple H want to write for him to do? It's kind of the question with Logan, really.
Mm-hmm. So this Jey Uso entrance at the beginning of the show, I think, is really cool. I love it, right? But the Gunther Jey Uso feud, I think, is getting a little old already, and we still got 8 weeks to go. We got to do something here because it's gone too fast, and we've still got so much time. I am a little nervous about this one.
You should be a lot nervous about this one. I mean, we're basically already to just Gunther's just attacking Jey Uso for no reason. I mean, we're already just at that. We've got nothing, so let's have Jey just go out and do what he does, and then Gunther's just going to attack him for no reason and not actually say anything. I mean, when we're already there, Jim, we don't have much. So
yeah.
We're doing that for 7 weeks? No, we were all a little nervous when this happened. We didn't want to say it because we love Jey Uso, but we were all a little nervous when this happened. I immediately think, as far as I was willing to go, as well, I mean, this is just main event night one. Maybe it isn't even main event of either night. You know what I mean? And like we just kind of already knew that. And
no.
So the only thing, does Jimmy Uso get involved somehow, maybe, and inject some life into this?
Because, well, I mean, he's got the McIntyre Priest. They're going to be doing that stuff until Mania when Priest and McIntyre go at it. By the way, Corey Nance, shout out. You are our best fan. You are our number one fan, and we really do appreciate everything you do.
Thank you, Corey.
And your amazing hot takes on everything in the world. Love you, Corey. Unless they do want to bring in more tag team matches, things like that. It's going to, Rod, it'll be.
Because right now he's running. Listen, I love Otis and crew. But right now he's running with Otis and crew, right? Like he's doing hits on Raw where Otis and Tozawa are coming out. You know what I mean? Like, cool. We love
was
seeing
it Tozawa? Was it Tozawa in the mask?
No, see, it couldn't be because he's not going to help Chad Gable. Because that was my other thought. That's the only other small guy I could think of. But he's not going to help. I wasn't
thinking right. You're right.
He's not going to help Chad Gable. So I mean, it's like it's not going. It couldn't be Mello. Did he borrow one of those guys from LWO that I can never remember their names? Is it Cruiser Del Toro? Did he get one of those guys? Are they still even around? Is it one of the? It couldn't have been one of the guys from AOP. They're not still around, are they? The guys from AOP aren't around.
I will say it's not one of the guys from AOP. Probably not him. Yeah.
Could have been Paul Ellering. Is Paul Ellering still around? He's pretty small.
He's the body type. I don't think he's as agile though anymore.
That's true. He's having trouble getting around.
Mm-hmm. So it's going to be the number. Jey and Gunther is going to be the number one, the first match on either night one or night two. Probably night one. I mean, that's going to be a terrific audience participation there. That's going to be great. So they'll do that the first match of night one or night two.
So Jey Uso fights first match of WrestleMania 2 years in a row. Because I believe Jey and Jimmy led off WrestleMania last year in a match that we all kind of wanted, but they had no build for. Am I wrong here, or that was WrestleMania last year?
That was WrestleMania last year, and we thought it was going to be better than what it was, and it just wasn't. This one, I don't see how it can be bad with Gunther involved.
Let me ask you about these entrances from Jey. Do these little kids, do they write in somewhere? Are they getting grabbed by somebody whose job it is to pick out a kid? Is it on, or do they already know this is the aisle they're coming down? So just if you're lucky to be in that aisle, or do they determine the aisle based on the kid they pick? Which way do you think they go?
I think it's more they know the aisle and where's the closest kid, put him up there. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. But shout out to those kids. Most of the kids seem to know the assignment and they do it really, really well. So that's great. I guess maybe now that I think of it, Gunther's got to interrupt him one time while he's doing that, right? That's the next thing he's got to do.
Yes,
he's already
100%.
Mocked him and done it his own way, so he's just got to come out one time and just boom, clock him in the middle of the crowd.
What if Gunther is dressed as a kid?
He's going to look like a big kid. If he still had Ludwig Kaiser around helping him out, you know what I mean? Kaiser can look small at times.
He can.
Maybe that's who was helping Gable.
No,
Kaiser's got his own stuff going on. He wouldn't help Gable. I want to figure this out, Jim. It can't just be a PA. It's got to be somebody.
Maybe it's Gable's twin, and we just don't know about it. There you go.
What's Chad Gable's twin's
Kurt Angle's brother. Kurt Angle's brother. The Edgeheads. Could be.
So Chad Gable's brother's name is Dan Gable, or is it Tom Gable?
I doubt it's Dan Gable, but Chad, Corey. Shout out to Nance, maybe.
Corey. Steve Gable.
Ooh, I like Steve Gable.
Shane
Steve.
Gable?
Chad and Shane Gable. Yeah, throw in
Charlie?
the comments here, everybody. What do you want? Chad, Steve, Shane, Gary, whatever.
I like just throwing out people's names sometimes.
Oh, goodness. We have to talk about SmackDown real quick because it was a really good night for us. Real solid night for us. Chris King is still celebrating. He finally got the newspaper saying that LA Knight, is your new United States champion after beating Shinsuke Nakamura in a match that I don't think anyone thought he was going to win, including the fans in the arena because they weren't as hot until the end of the match. So good win for LA Knight there. I expect them to have another rematch here pretty soon, Rod.
What was the point of Shinsuke beating LA Knight? Because how many times did he even defend the belt?
Like once against LA Knight, and then
I feel like he was only on TV 3 times after he beat LA Knight for the belt. I'm not trying to be anti-Shinsuke here. I love Shin. Sorry, excuse me. I know I'm not allowed to call him that.
You never ever call him that again.
I'm sorry. I like Shinsuke, but I don't get what the point of that was. And then a rematch, fine, whatever. But LA Knight's going to beat him again, so I don't know. We're going to have somebody, Carmelo Hayes maybe? Is Carmelo Hayes and LA Knight going to have a feud that matters? I could see that possibly.
There's a couple of former WWE wrestlers who were recently let go by AEW and they could come back. Aleister Black is one of them. Are you familiar with Aleister Black's work, Rod? Or was that
he was something in the WWE right as I was coming back, and then he kind of left. What was he in the WWE?
He was NXT, and then when Paul Heyman took over, he was going to shoot him to the top, but that lasted for 5 seconds, and then he was just kind of middling in the WWE like everyone from NXT did because Vince McMahon hated them. But then also Rusev may be coming back as well.
Lana coming back?
Been let go. They apparently did get a divorce or separated, but then they reconciled here recently. So maybe you never really know. So that'd be kind of neat.
Macho and Elizabeth managed to continue working even when they had trouble. So come on, we all loved Lana more than Rusev anyway, Jim. Let's be honest.
Oh, no question. Pretty Deadly, Rod. Congratulations.
I know.
They are the new #1 contenders to Johnny Gargano and Triple H for the tag team championships.
Johnny Gargano and Triple H. Shout out to our guy, R-Truth. I was excited to see Pretty Deadly getting a W up there on the board. You know what I mean? That's exciting times for my boys. They normally are supposed to come out, do the most fabulous entrance the WWE has ever seen, and then lose. That's what they're supposed to do. And they have been getting a little bit of grit, right? They've been getting a little bit of spunk recently. They haven't seemed as afraid of everybody, right? They've been kind of walking around with their chest bowed out and their little circles cut so you can see their finely coiffed chest hair underneath there. And they've been actually getting some wins. Let's go Pretty Deadly. I could see Pretty Deadly winning the tag team belts here, Jim. I could. Because nobody cares about your guys Gargano and Ciampa anyway. Nobody does. I feel bad about it, but it's true.
It's true. You're not wrong.
Nobody cares about Pretty Deadly, though, either. So that's why
no one cares about either of them. So that's going to be a pretty quiet match. Obviously,
do people care about the Street Profits? Can they save the tag belts when they finally get back to the top of the mountain?
I think so. Yeah, I think they can. I think they can do that for sure. People love the Street Profits.
Can the New Day semi-save the tag belts by being a big deal as heels now, Jimmy?
Well, on the Raw, for sure, I think they can definitely win the belts on Raw. And continue to move up. Yeah, see,
is there multiple belts? Who are the tag team champions on Raw? Oh, the War Raiders.
The War Raiders.
God, that's right. I forgot about the War Raiders.
Because the War Raiders are awesome, but
they are. But
again, no one cares.
Sorry, War Raiders. Listen, thank God they're not still the Viking Raiders, Jimmy, or they'd be coming for me.
All right, before we get out of here, let's talk about WrestleMania card where we are now, just to kind of gauge our interest on it. Undisputed Championship. Even though there's 2 championships, but whatever. Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. I am very excited for this match now. I think they've done a great job of getting some intrigue. What do you mean a great
job? No. What do you mean a great job?
Intrigue in the match, but now I need to see what Cena's going to do on Monday.
Jimmy, how are we going to have a Raw at Madison Square Garden?
I agree.
At Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena. WWE hypes it up all the time, and John Cena's still not going to show his face. I mean, Jimmy, how in the world are we going to build a WrestleMania main event? Is Cody literally going to have to do the whole thing on his back and Cena's not going to be around? Is that the heel answer, right? Is that the heel John Cena?
They'll be in the same building on Monday. But you went Elimination Chamber, Raw, SmackDown, Raw, and SmackDown. So 4 shows in a row with no John Cena. I don't understand how they didn't do that. But like I said earlier, when Cody Rhodes mentioned John Cena, he did get booed. There were really no
that's
cheers at
nothing
all.
new. People used to boo John Cena when he came to the ring. So
This is a different boo, though.
Is it?
Yes.
I'm not so sure it is right now because of the fact that people want to see him. They want to see him in the ring acting heel. They don't want to just boo him.
Well, I'm a little nervous. He's just going to come out again and walk away again and not say anything.
That's what I mean. That's why maybe the best thing for him to do is just not show up. If it was hustle, loyalty, and respect, let me show up and give you a show week after week. Heel John Cena's just like, F you, I'm not going to be here.
I'm getting paid no matter what. Let me just leave. I don't need
I'm going to the Hall of Fame. What's the matter to me?
What are you going to do? And I'm going to win the championship. I don't even have to do anything.
I'm excited for the match, though, but I don't think he's going to win. I can't believe that you think he's going to win.
Who?
Cena.
I think I've changed. I think Cody's going to win.
Cena's not going to win the belt for the record time as a heel. He's just not.
Yeah.
You're smarter than that, Jim.
Yeah, I know. I'm allowed to change my mind.
You are.
I'm allowed to throw my microphone, too, if I want.
What else are
Tiffany
you
Stratton versus Charlotte Flair for the Women's Championship. On a scale of 1 to 10, how good of a match is this going to be?
That's a very good question because I haven't seen a lot of my girl yet, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna learn a little bit. Pardon me. This Friday when she takes on B-Fab, apparently.
Yeah. Yep.
So, I'm going to see her back in the ring a little bit there. B-Fab's getting a little better in the ring, but I don't know how much of a test she really is going to be for the queen. So it's just going to be seeing how much cobweb she has. I don't know. I think Tiffany Stratton can wrestle, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how down in the grit and just pulling out moves off of things that didn't go exactly the way they were supposed to, Tiffany Stratton can do, but when things are going the way they're supposed to, which I think Charlotte is pretty good at making sure things go the way they're supposed to. But then
or
again,
she'll
she
beat
has
the hell out of you.
That's what I'm saying. Or she has a tendency to get pretty mad the first time you mess something up, and then it can go off the rails too. So I guess I'd say I'm pretty confident, but only probably 70%, Jim. I think there's a good 30% chance this thing could go wrong.
Yeah, I was in the 70%, 7 out of 10 as well. Tiffany was good in the ring. It just doesn't seem like she's had to do too much recently just because where she's been and what she's done. So hopefully they are able to pull off a good match. We talked a lot about the Gunther and Jey Uso match. I think it'll be good. Hopefully it has the heat that we
Of course it's good.
We
We are on record as saying anything Gunther's involved with is good. Yeah. So, I mean, there's always a floor when it's a Gunther match.
Io, Bianca, and Rhea. I think it'll be a hard-hitting match.
Who do you want to see?
Who do I want to see? I want to see Bianca win. I think it's time. Let's get her back to where she belongs.
Do you want her still continuing to be the EST? Do you want her to kind of be the female John Cena and never change? Or do you want to see a heel turn for her?
Oh, she's got to be a bad guy. Oh, definitely a bad guy. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, definitely a bad guy. Reigns, Punk, and Rollins. I think we're both on the same page. That's going to be a really, really solid matchup there.
I gotta go. Reigns. I gotta go Reigns there. I think because if Reigns isn't going to fight Cody now, we got to give him a win over the other big guys for him to keep his stature. Right. The only way that Roman can keep his stature and not show up very often is if he wins this kind of match. You follow me?
So do you think Jay is going to win the world title?
No.
Because if Jay loses the world title, or if Gunther retains, I think Punk wins this match and Punk goes after Gunther.
That'd be cool. I dig that because would we see a Punk actually showing respect to somebody? Because what could Punk hate about Gunther? Because all the things that Punk trashes people for, Gunther doesn't do.
Yeah. So maybe it's a different type of Punk we see. Or does Jey Uso win and Punk goes after him and we get heel Punk? Because maybe Punk goes heel here to get the win in the triple threat, and we get heel Punk against face Jey Uso. Maybe.
Will the crowd let Punk go heel, Jimmy?
Yeah. Oh, because they will.
Really?
He's done it. He's done it before Master.
But they'll still love him, though, right?
It'll be It's kind of like a Kevin Owens heel, where people
or Roman, because it got interesting at times. We would talk about it how it'd be interesting at times with Roman, where fans were really actually excited to see him, but he was supposed to be the number one heel. It gets weird. It's different to write those angles, I think. But you're better with these things than I am.
Yeah. Randy Orton, Kevin Owens. Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Go. Yeah.
I just think it's like with Punk, I just don't know how you can write him to be that much of a bad guy anymore because basically this guy got held up almost pardon me, I'm not trying to be blasphemous here, but he got held up as wrestling Jesus for a decade. You know what I mean? I just think it's going to be really, really hard to have this guy written as a heel, because even the bad stuff he does and says now, people go crazy for it. You know what I mean? Essentially like my guy Rollins, who does heel things and is a good guy. I don't know if we can get Punk heel again.
Punk gets over with saying a lot of the truth of what he's really thinking on the mic. Maybe he goes where he lies on the mic and says things that aren't true. And that's a way that we can go about getting people to go against him. I don't know.
Maybe when he goes with Heyman, right? Maybe he starts saying some things when he goes with Heyman, which you seem to think might happen after WrestleMania. So I could see that. All right. Yeah. All right.
Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, I think is going to be a hard-hitting, classic matchup, 12 minutes long. I really want Kevin Owens to win, but I think Randy Orton's going to have to get the win on that one.
I think we want to get Randy back in a situation where he may be able to get a world title belt himself, right? Because I think there's an easy storyline to write there. Like, hey, John, wait a minute. I'm not far behind you. You know what I mean? What if I stood in your way? You know what I mean? Like, I think there's a storyline that you could write there between Randy and John because they got some history anyway. So here's my other question, though, Jim. Why do we have to call it the punt? It's way more like a field goal. Okay, now, again, I wasn't around during the time that he was doing it, but isn't it way more like a field goal than it is a punt?
Man, do I care about that? I don't. Yeah, it is more of a field goal than it is a punt because you've got it. The head isn't moving toward him; he's moving towards the head. So you're correct.
But
yeah, and
I'm
of course,
excited
splitting
that that's
the uprights,
back.
things like that. Yeah, no, you're facts.
Is he going to do that to Kevin Owens, and that's how the WrestleMania match is going to end?
I think so. Yeah, I think he punts Kevin Owens.
Because Kevin Owens just isn't going to win, right? I mean, we've just resigned ourselves to Kevin Owens just doesn't win matches.
Stupid. Damian
Do we
Priest
see Sammy? Does Sammy come back somehow, maybe, though? Is that maybe how the ending gets? We haven't seen Sammy the whole time. This is the world we're living in, right? So we're talking WrestleMania. We haven't seen Sammy the whole time, and then all of a sudden his music hits at WrestleMania, and he comes out and he helps Randy somehow.
That could happen as well. I think that easily could happen because take away Kevin Owens' big moment at WrestleMania. Maybe Kevin Owens has a 1, a 2, da-da-da-da. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that could happen.
Because Sammy's he's gotten a lot of faith put behind him at the last 2 WrestleManias. Think about it. You know what I mean? He got to fight the tag team match, and then he got the Gunther match. He was Rocky, essentially, at last WrestleMania.
I'd like to see him win a world title here this year.
Awesome.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
Be awesome. I don't know how we get there, but it'd be awesome.
Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre is a match that it's just like, hey, you guys are workhorses. Thank you.
So boring. So boring. I'm so glad Chris isn't here because if Chris was here, we'd have to spend 6 minutes about how he's so excited for this and so awesome that Drew McIntyre going against a guy like Damian Priest who you have to love because of how hard he works and blah, 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 blah. Chris, you're not wrong about any of those things, my dear, dear friend, but it's just so boring. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about Damian Priest. Damian Priest's family, extended family in Puerto Rico, I apologize, but your son just doesn't have it with the crowd. The crowd doesn't hate him. The crowd doesn't overly love him. They just like him. And that just unfortunately isn't ever going to garner him the momentum to write a storyline that is going to land him on top for very long. I think he probably had his one shot at the belt, and that's where we are. And so, like you said, Jim, he's going to be in workhorse matches that we're supposed to care about, but don't really, right? He's going to fight your Finn Balor's and your AJ Styles and your Miz, and these are the matches he's going to be in.
Do we have a Solo Sikoa Jacob Fatu matchup, or do we have a Solo Sikoa and LA Knight matchup, or Fatu and LA Knight? What are you going to do with Solo Sikoa?
Probably that. I think you got to lower Solo Sikoa at this point, right? I mean, he had his runs at Cody, and it didn't work out for him. He had his runs at the top of the bloodline table, and Roman sort of took him down. So I think you got to lower him a notch, get him some wins, maybe get another title belt wrapped around his waist, get us something that keeps him away from Fatu, because I don't think you have Fatu step down to LA Knight. And again, I apologize to LA Knight, but you're the U.S. champion. It denotes a thing.
Sure.
I think you have Fatu start punching up, right? That's what I think you have with Fatu.
I think so too. Solo is just a victim of circumstance here. There's so many huge storylines that it's really no room for him in the main event picture. So we need to, like you said, put him down a little bit there. Naomi against Jade Cargill, I think is going to happen at Mania. It could happen at the SmackDown before Mania.
Ouch.
But I mean, would you? I don't know. If you're Jade Cargill, you probably want to
fill, Jim. We got 2 nights to fill. If they're going to have the squash, they can at least have it at Mania.
They'll do that. And then maybe an Alexa Bliss and a Liv Morgan also. That's CBS Sports has said that could be something that would happen, which I think would be pretty neat.
Is the Wyatt Six involved before that, though?
Yeah, of course.
So then Liv Morgan and Raquel and New Day, or not New Day, listen to me.
Yes.
What's their name? Why can't Judgment Day? They're going to get involved with the Wyatt Six then? That could be cool.
Yeah. Why not?
Dom has been talking about a new member. Who would that be?
Karrion Kross.
No, he's not going to join with Karrion Kross as a Svengali. I like that he's around though. And
yeah.
He's bubbling. He's bubbling underneath. We could unleash him somewhere, somehow.
Somehow we could do that. So Rod, what do we got going over the next couple of weeks here on the Morganino Podcasting Network? We've got some NBA action coming up that we're going to need to talk about over the next couple of weeks. A lot of things happening in the NBA, NFL as well.
I was going to say, I think we might be able to get the handicapper, Josh Williams, back. Yeah, we could get his reactions to that. We could get his reactions to the draft, or we could get him on for some bets you could make about the draft ahead of the draft. We could do that.
Sure.
We could see if our guy Dax Storm or our guy Cowboy Derek maybe would like to check in and do some NBA predictions as we head towards the playoffs. That would be fun to do, I think. So we could definitely look forward to that.
The table, the head of the table, which I think is down to 2 people, right?
Yeah, no, it's one of those tables off to the side, right, where they just have it's up against the wall and they just have 2 little stools pulled up to it. That's the only MVP table that's left.
But there's big tables around you, so like you're part of like a huge group, even though you just want to be by each. Yeah.
And I think Jimmy, you and I. We have done this in the past. When you and I really put our heads together, we can concoct a draft that is lots of fun for the people. And so I think we should do something as we round towards the spring or the summer, one or the other. And we should come up with a new draft and get some of our friends together and have some fun on the Morganino podcast.
I think so too. How about White Lotus characters? Thoughts on the draft there?
Ooh, I'd have to catch up. I did like the first season, but I didn't get the second.
Oh, you haven't watched the second or third season?
No, I love me some Walton Goggins, so I'm excited for 3 possibly. But I must admit, Jimmy, I'm getting my Walton Goggins right now by going back to Justified. I missed Justified seasons 4, 5, and 6, so I'm actually on Justified 4 right now. So I feel as if I'm watching Walton Goggins, even though I'm not doing White Lotus season 3.
Well, you would see more of him than you ever wanted to see. And with that, you've been listening to the Yeah We Know podcast, part of the Morganino's Podcasting Network. You're in the ring with Jimmy and Rod.
I think Chris is not here this week because he actually saw the same very episode that Jimmy is talking about, and it scarred him so much that he pulled in overtime at work because he contacted us during the show and completely forgot after all of this time where we basically podcast on Thursday evenings at 9:30, he somehow forgot we were podcasting this evening, Jimmy. He is old.
He is old. He is tired. And all kidding aside, he does work very, very hard.
He absolutely
so you know what? That's okay. No problem at all, Chris. We love you, and we didn't have to talk about Drew McIntyre for 10 minutes. Goodbye, net. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.